Welcome in, everybody. We appreciate you joining us for our November town hall tonight. As always, we're gonna give it a couple minutes, wait for everybody to get into the meeting here, let everyone trickle in, and then we'll get started here in a couple minutes. So we appreciate you joining us and are excited to show you what we have to offer. You'll see we're classic branded right now, but won't be by the end of this meeting. So look forward to that at the January town hall for some updated backgrounds and updated slide presentations from Corey. Still got a few trickling in. We'll give it about another minute or so. As you're joining us, thank you so much, and we're excited to get started. All right. Welcome, everybody. We appreciate you for joining us. If you joined at the beginning, you've heard me say this for a third time now. We are excited to get started. We have a lot to catch up on with registration opening on Saturday, both for the route and the route announcement party. We've got our new logo, which I'm sure many of you have seen. It's been all over social media and all of our websites. So if you haven't seen it yet, we're excited to launch that tonight and give a little deep dive into the creation of it. And we also have a new team member joining us that you might not recognize. So a lot of exciting things tonight and can't wait to get into it. So here is our team. You recognize most of us other than Carson Groth, our event operations manager. She's going to go ahead and introduce herself and answer 3 questions: where she's from, what she likes to do for fun, and her favorite flavor of pie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carson. I am from Des Moines, Iowa, born and raised. I like to run for fun and hang out with my dog, and my favorite kind of pie is apple pie. And I'm excited for RAGBRAI 53 and see what the year takes us.
Awesome. Thank you, Carson. We are very excited to have her joining us. She just started on Monday. So she's RAGBRAI 101, full speed ahead and hitting the ground running. So rounding out the rest of our team, we have Matt Phipp, our ride director, myself, Andrea Parrott, marketing manager and Just Go Bike host, Corey Much, our graphic designer and the star of this specific presentation, Erica Detterman, registration and merchandise manager, and Aaron Oliphant, customer service and coach. If you have not already registered, make sure you scan this QR code here. That will allow you to join our Q&A. You're able to join the meeting without registering, but you won't be able to participate in the Q&A. So if you haven't done so already, just give that QR code a quick scan and hop into the Q&A, and we'll be happy to answer your questions once we get towards the end of the presentation and as we go along. I'll leave that up for a couple seconds just for everyone to get their phones out if they need to. And then we'll have another QR code on the next slide that if you haven't signed up for, you'll definitely want to jump on. The RAGBRAI newsletter from yours truly, Andrea Parrott, once a month, always sending out the most important updates with RAGBRAI. So if you haven't already, scan that QR code and sign up for the newsletter. You don't want to miss the latest and greatest with RAGBRAI. And without further ado, some updates from Ride Director Matt Phippen.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us for the November Town Hall. As I was preparing my notes, I don't have a whole lot for you this time. During our last visit with you guys, I had traveled 969 miles across the state of Iowa, exploring state and county roads. I had my 6th meeting with DOT and the Iowa State Patrol, and I'm happy to report I think we have a finalized route and I can officially get to all 8 overnight towns. So with that being said, I've had amazing conversations with the 8 overnight towns, verbal commitments right now. We will start working behind the scenes to finalize those contracts and get that stuff taken care of. We've had meetings with 5 new sponsors that will be good for RAGBRAI next year. One of our sponsors we're looking at is in the nutrition category. That's one of the focuses that you're going to see from us this year. We learned last year that our riders are not doing a good enough job eating and drinking. And by eating, it's not pork chops, and by drinking, it's not beer. We need nutrition, so energy going in and water and fluids going into the body. So we might have a new nutrition sponsor coming on board for next year, so stay tuned for that. If you follow our social media, we are creating a RAGBRAI hype video and a commercial, and we recorded a voiceover with a local Iowa legend. I'll just tease it at that, and you'll see that coming out very, very soon. I also had the opportunity to attend a ride director conference in Tucson, Arizona. There was 50 different ride directors from all across the nation. It was great to connect with them, explore ideas, share wins and losses, and explore some other events that are out there. Proud to say that RAGBRAI was definitely one of the most talked about events in that portfolio that we got to address. Met with the Lieutenant Governor, and we talked about the America's Big Birthday that's coming up and how we're going to partner with the state of Iowa to help make a big splash for the state of Iowa. And we finalized our RAGBRAI Gives partner. I'll just tease it a little bit right now. We'll release it with registration opening on Saturday, but we found a partner very similar to Honor Flight that has different hubs in the state of Iowa that is doing a lot of really, really cool things for community around the cycling category. So super excited to share that here on Saturday. Probably the highlight though for us and for me and the team was we hired Carson. So obviously we lost Laura. Carson will step into this role for Laura. I don't know if she knows what she's gotten herself into yet. We're slowly pulling her into this, but super excited to have her on the call tonight and be able to work with her in future RAGBRAIs. But the biggest thing that we focused on and we're talking about tonight is our logo reveal. The logo reveal is always tough. I always say that it's probably more tough than creating a route because for 53 years, we have a lot of people that have opinions, have an idea of what it should look like. And for Corey to create something that's brand new year after year is very, very tough. So I will turn it over to Corey and he'll walk you through how he came up with the logo for RAGBRAI 53.
Well, thanks, Matt. I guess I would kind of disagree. I think creating a route every year would probably be a little tough for me, but maybe that's because I don't create routes. I create designs and logos. So yeah. So we unveiled this logo Saturday. This is our look for 2026. So to kind of give you some background. As you'll kind of start to notice over the years, as you see more and more of my logos, I like to have a story kind of behind everything. I think it means more to me. It means more to the riders. It means more to everybody. If there's something that they can relate to and that it's kind of got a backstory to it. So in one of our early meetings after the ride this year, Matt was talking about this is a bucket list. This is a bucket list ride for people to come from all over the world to complete this. And we have to do our best job as a small and mighty team to put together the best event we possibly can for these people who come from all over to complete their bucket list. And I started thinking, like, when I was riding, what did I think about while I was riding, and like how did I keep going? And obviously the water tower is kind of the thing that everybody sees and think about, and it's I don't know, it's just always one of those things that was in the back of my head was like the water towers are, it's over every horizon you see it. And I thought it would be really cool to really simplify the logo and showcase that. Every town's got their own personality, and it kind of showcases that. Like, as I'm researching all these water towers, not the specific town water towers, but just water towers in the state of Iowa and all over for that matter. And I was drawing them. It was crazy how every water tower had its own personality and its different look. And that's kind of what our ride is. There's so many different personalities and looks out there. So I thought that kind of was a cool tie to it too. Um, Also, it's kind of an inside joke because, like I say, back when I rode and my daughter rode with me, my joke is, like, hey, how much longer is it? I'm always like, oh, it's just around the corner. It's just around the corner. So they don't like it when I say that anymore because it's never just around the corner. But as you went around that corner and you saw that water tower, you knew you were getting close. So that's kind of that goal that you achieve by seeing that water tower. And maybe that's kind of that bucket list thing. You made it to that next town. So then I guess the other side of that is designing, putting the colors to it. And I like I like the simple look of it. I like the clean classic look. The colors as we put it together, honestly, were not my first choice. I had some different color palettes put together and I pitched them to Matt, and we kind of went back and forth on some stuff, and this is what we landed on. But as I was putting it all together and putting the colors into it, it really kind of, again, it all kind of told the story and it clicked together. Like, if you look at it, it's like the blue skies that we're riding under and the green fields that you're riding through. And I mean, it tells that story. It's that classic background that you see while you're riding. So anyway, I'll dive a little deeper into the logo. Last year, AP put out a story, and it'll be in the blog. And if you signed up for the newsletter and stuff, you'll get that too. But we did kind of a cool behind the scenes, and I shared kind of my design process, some early sketches and some other colors that I put together. And I think people really liked it. It kind of showed a little bit further into the process of what goes through my mind while I'm trying to design this and put it all together. But so we're putting that together. That should come out here in the next month or so. I think that'll be kind of cool for everybody to see, like, how that all puts together. But so on the screen here, you see the main logo. Obviously I've got some word marks you'll see through other stuff on merchandise, and then the simplified water tower, or just a clean classic look there too. Yeah, anyway, I hope you guys all enjoy it as much as I enjoyed designing it, and I'm excited to see it all over the route on the jerseys and on the merchandise that I'm currently wearing, and Erica will be talking about next.
Thanks, Corey. So every year when we come out with our new logo, we also come out with a line of new logo merchandise as well as this year's kit. Our kit is available for pre-order now, and we've got some fun new options. We've elevated our shorts and bibs, and they both have cargo pockets on them and an extended chamois on there. So everything for your cycling apparel or your cycling kit is available for pre-order now, and we're going to get that shipped out to you in early spring. We say that just to be safe, but most of the time we have it shipped out by the end of February. And then we also have a bunch of new merchandise that just landed at HQ last week before logo reveal. So you can order that now. My personal favorite is that ringer tee. And then you can see Matt and Corey are wearing our new hats right now because they love those. So just a couple fun items. If you're looking for some Christmas gifts, definitely recommend these for your RAGBRAI lover who you know is going to ride this year. And then if you need any other gift ideas, we are putting together a holiday gift guide. So along with our monthly newsletter that goes out, we send out a weekly merchandise newsletter. You can see what's brand new to the store, what deals we have, all of those things. So if you need ideas for this holiday season, definitely check that out. My personal favorite each year is the gingerbread ornament. So he's blue, just like our RAGBRAI 2025 logo was blue. And then we have a new puzzle this year for those of you guys who completed our last year patch puzzle. We have a signage puzzle. So I think that's probably my second favorite item. And then holiday season is coming up. So we're doing a big Black Friday sale at the end of this month. Kind of stay tuned for that sneak peek and special sales for those of you who are a part of our merch newsletter. So you can join that by going to our website. Stay tuned on that. So it'll be site-wide except for our new 53 items and our RAGBRAI Elite line. And then just kind of what we're here to talk about is registration opening. Registration will open Saturday, so I'll stay up till midnight on Friday night into early morning on Saturday morning just to make sure registration opens correctly and we have no issues. Thank you to everybody in the team who stays up and keeps me company for that. But we will open November 15th and we'll be open clear until the ride starts this year. A little bit change in our normal schedule. We are doing a soft close for registration. So May 31st is your last date to register and get your packets mailed to you. If you register after May 31st, then we'll hold those for you at the expo at the start time. And then if you're a day pass rider, you still will have to get your passes at the expo because you won't be able to register after that May 31st. But so something new this year. If you have any questions about it, don't worry about reaching out to us. Aaron will get all of those questions answered for you. Then over to Aaron for our wristbands.
Yeah, so in case you missed last month's town hall, I just wanted to briefly discuss transfers, which we are bringing back for RAGBRAI 53. Last year we did take them away, not because we were trying to pull one over on you guys, but because a bunch of people were getting scammed and sending money to people on a third-party platform, and then turns out the person was never registered and they were just out of luck. So we knew that we wanted to come up with a way where riders could transfer their wristbands securely and safely, and without risk. So this season, we've been working really hard as a team to figure out a way to allow the money to be transferred through a registration platform and motive instead of through a third-party cash service that we have no control over. So happy to bring back transfers to our riders for a greater sense of security. And kind of give them more security to sign up now, knowing that if they can't make the ride and they've passed the refund deadline, that they still have an option to kind of get their money back in a way. So that is why we're excited to bring transfers back. Transfers will open on June 1st. Note that this is after we've started packing and shipping your wristbands, so it will be the responsibility of the old registration person to get the wristbands to the new rider through mailing. We will be happy to help the new rider if something gets lost in the mail and stuff, but we do kindly request that the old rider mails their wristbands to the new rider. As June 1st gets closer, I'll kind of discuss more on how to do a transfer, how to find people to transfer your wristbands to, the pros of someone buying a wristband from a person instead of through our late registration process. So we'll go through all that at the next year at some point. And for now, I will throw it over to Hayden to go over route announcement.
I'm muted. Thank you, Aaron. In addition to the route, we will be having our route announcement party registration open on Saturday, so we're very excited for that. You guys are actually the first ones to see a sneak peek into who the band will be. So as you can see there on the right, this is the first time we're promoting that publicly. Gut Feeling is a 70s, 80s, and 90s cover band that's very high energy, promotes a lot of singing and dancing, and is based out of Des Moines. So they'll be right in their backyard in Waukee at the Vibrant Music Hall when we have our party. Very excited to have them joining us. And then you can see the gift on the left is the RAGBRAI tumbler this year. That is a silicone cup. Maybe a tumbler is not the right word, but silicone pint glass. So really excited for that. Love the colors on that, and I'm waiting for them to get in so I can grab mine and get that a couple Christmas presents around to the family. So if you're registering for the route and you want to register and join us at the route announcement party in January, we would love to see you. That'll be January 24th from 6 until, it says 10, but until the party ends. So we are really looking forward to that, and can't wait to get to January. And with that, there are only 247 days until RAGBRAI 53. We will be having a lot of fun announcements and a lot of hard work behind the scenes here over the next couple months. We won't be having a town hall in December as the team preps for January and everything that comes along with the route announcement. But we'll have our next town hall on January 8th at the usual time of 6:30. So keep an eye out for that registration. One of the most popular questions that Matt's going to get asked in that town hall is, what is the route? So he's got that answer ready for you. He's got every town laid out. He'll tell you loud and clear. You just got to make sure you register for that town hall. So with that, we're going to turn it over to the Q&A. I don't see too many published in the chat, but looking at a few that may have been submitted online, not as many as usual. AP, did you have any?
Sure do. Okay, here's the first question to get us started. I'm going to do a couple registration ones. How do I join a team? My team disappeared from registration. What do I do?
I'll take that one. So in our registration process and motive, we do not move teams from year over year because anybody can make a team. So last year, if I made a team of one, or AP made her team, we don't want to move that over because we don't know if those teams will be back. So during the registration process, you can go through and it will be a part of the process. I want to say it's on like page 3, and it'll say add or create a team. You can create a team. If you create a team, you will automatically default as a team captain. So if I'm on AP's team and I know she hasn't registered yet, I can still create that team. If I want her to be the team captain, she can email us and we can get that updated for her. So you'll be able to add your team during registration. If you miss it or you want to add it later, there will be step-by-step instructions on a registration blog, or you could also email us at any time.
Okay, very good. Erica, I'm going to keep picking on you.
Awesome.
How and when are the wristbands distributed? Since I'm already registered, do I need to wait for a wristband before signing up with a tour group?
So
Which I
wristbands,
assume means a charter.
Yep, wristbands numbers will be assigned in June when we do that soft close for mailing, and it is our goal to have them out by that 4th of July weekend. Our deadline is right around that to get everything shipped out to get to you guys before the ride. If you are looking for housing, if you're riding with a charter, anybody who would historically ask for a wristband number, we have asked them to also use your registration confirmation number. So when you register, you'll get an email that says, thanks for registering. It'll have a confirmation number. You can use that up until you get your wristband number, and then a lot of places will just take that in lieu of your wristband number.
Perfect. Would some of you or one of you please explain travel to and from the ride? We had a couple questions that were kind of surrounding like travel. How do I get to the start of the ride and how do I get home from the end of the ride?
I can take this one. There's a few different ways you can do it, and it all kind of depends on where you're coming from. First thing I would suggest is go to the logistics page of our website. We'll update this with more information as more route details are released, but it's a really great place to gather information about how to get to and from the ride. If you're coming from the west side of the country, I recommend parking at the start town. The start town will sell long-term parking passes as well as a shuttle to take you back from the end town back to the start town once you finish the ride. If you're coming from the east side of the country and you're driving in, I recommend parking at the end town and getting a shuttle at the start of the ride to the start. or at the end of the ride to back to the starting line. So those services will be additional purchases. You won't be able to do it through the registration process. It will be a separate link through those towns pages once that is announced and open up and we've got everything set up there. If you're flying in, if you want to rent a car or you want to taxi, that's up to you. And then I personally, if I was flying into Des Moines, I would probably drive to the east side of the state and park my car in the end town and shuttle to the start. Or another option is you could do a prearranged taxi service, cab service, any of that's available to you, or maybe hire a friend to take you, and better yet, be your support driver throughout the course of the week. So those are all different options. But again, we'll have that all posted on the logistics page of the website. And as the route's announced, it will be a lot clearer on the best way to do things for you.
Couple things to tag team onto what Aaron said. If you are having a support driver take you across the ride, make sure you do purchase those support vehicle passes. Those will be available during registration and will be open this week. So that'll guarantee those support drivers parking in every overnight town that RAGBRAI provides. So make sure that you get those sooner rather than later. It is important to make sure that those vehicles coming across the state with us have those vehicle passes, and parking attendants are looking for those in each overnight town. And additionally, you can look at charter services like the shuttles Aaron mentioned that will be posted on some of the town's websites. There are several charter services that will provide transportation only, even if you don't camp with them for the week. So you could meet with them in the end town, like Aaron said, park your car there for long-term parking, hop on one of those charter buses, and then they'll take you over to the start town. And then you kind of find your team, your group, whoever you're riding with across the state. And don't have to worry about the charter for the rest of the way. You get to the end town and then you hop in your car and go home. So a lot of different options that are available. And if you know people that have done RAGBRAI before, ask them what they've done in the past and what's worked well. I know AP's probably got 17 different personal stories about how you can get to and from the start town.
I sure do, but I think you covered most of them between the two of you, so that was perfect. Coming up next, Corey's getting some love on the logo in the comments. So I want to ask Eddie's question. I recognize the 53 on the sleeve from Herbie the Love Bug. Please tell us a little bit more about your creative process.
All right. Well, that's kind of one of those things too that, everybody always, you read it all over Facebook. Everybody always says, oh, there's some sort of teaser. There's some sort of hint in the logo every year. There's always something, there's some sort of hint. I hate to burst everybody's bubble, but there's usually not. It just, sometimes it can kind of just happen. I may design something and then I find out the route from Matt and it just all clicks together. So, yeah, but no, the 53, yeah, I mean, it might have a resemblance to a certain bug. I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe we'll see something with that a little bit later. Maybe we will, or maybe we won't. I don't know. But good observation. That might have been the one little teaser that you'll see.
I'm really hoping my ride vehicle this year has little eyeballs on it, like Herbie.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, Matt, our riders want to know how many hours of sleep you get a night during the week of RAGBRAI.
I will tell you it's not much. I think over the last 4 years, I average around 3 hours. My schedule is usually between 3 and 4 in the morning. I'll wake up, obviously get in the shower. I meet with State Patrol and Care Ambulance around 5, kind of talk through what the day's going to look like. And then I'm en route by 7, just like everybody else. Close the route down around 6. Head to the expo area, on stage for a check presentation, hang out till after the concert is over, clear the downtown, slowly make my way back to the hotel, and eventually find a pillow and close my eyes, and then the alarm goes off and we do it all over again. So it's roughly about 3 hours every night is what I get for sleep. And
don't forget that you make your appearance at the baggage trucks right away in the morning, and give my bag boys some love and some Casey's donuts to get them energized and bouncing off the walls and singing songs and dancing. So, yep.
That's right. Yeah, I start my day with Baggage Boys and Dream Team. So I drop the donuts off at Baggage Boys and I go wake the Dream Team kids up. So that is definitely the start of my day for sure. But yeah, not much sleep, but it's all worth it.
We should also mention that Matt does have a driver during the ride, so he's not driving unsafely. He's very careful about that
That's
with
right.
the no sleep thing.
Yep, I'm protected for sure.
All right, so then next question from the chat. Will the route announcement be live streamed again this year on Facebook? And I guess I'm going to answer my own question here because I'm in charge of the live stream. Yes, it will be, but this year we're going to live stream from YouTube instead of Facebook because I think it's, for a variety of reasons, it's a better platform to stream from. We'll share it to Facebook so everyone can see, and it'll still be live like it was before. So you'll be able to tune in if you have a watch party out there, you know, in Indiana or wherever you might be. So I just wanted to make sure that we got that out there because it's one of my favorite parts is having people watch from all over the country in their watch parties from, you know, different teams and stuff. All right. I'm going to roll into another question. This time I'm not going to answer it myself. I'd like to ask particularly Matt, but anyone else who wants to chime in, why should I register?
Well, there is a lot of reasons. You're supporting the ride that supports the towns, and that's one of the biggest things. This group that's in front of you talking tonight is constantly looking for ways to pour back into our communities in the state that we live in, and this ride gives us the platform to be able to do that. There's a lot of moving parts that happen behind the scenes, a lot of things that we have to put in place in order to pull this ride off in July. It starts with town travel, preparing the towns, all the way up to the day of when riders come to visit. So, you know, if you're on the fence about, you know, registering because you feel like you don't use the services, I guarantee you use the services. You know, think about the state patrol that we pay for to protect the roads, to protect you while you're on there. They allow you to get lost in Iowa and enjoy all the surroundings and not have to worry about, you know, major vehicles being on the roads. You know, the towns that are set up, we work with those towns on a fairly regular basis. It's over 20 times across the state, helping them set their downtowns up, helping them get vendors, helping them think about where to put the water stations. So when you come in and you need something, it's there for you. Porta potties, obviously those porta potties don't exist the day before, the day after. So when you're standing in line and you need to go to the bathroom, those porta potties are there to help you with that. You know, obviously, we have a SAG service, so if you break down or need help, the SAG team will pick you up, take you into the town. Care ambulance is there, so if you do go down, they get you back bandaged up and get you back on the road. Another service that RAGBRAI provides. If you're running, you know, by yourself and you need bag transport, we transport your bags. So Corey and his team are up super early every morning, loading. I think we figured like 2,500 bags a day when it's all said and done, and that's loading and unloading. So about 5,000 times, you know, these kids touch your bag and place your bag for you, so you can just ride your bicycle. But the big thing is, you know, we want to give back to the town. So when you register, that money comes right into RAGBRAI and goes back out in checks that we will cut to the towns to be successful. So I think we've been vocal on this, but I'll just touch it really, you know, again is, you know, overnight towns will receive $50,000 from RAGBRAI. Meeting towns will receive $10,000 from RAGBRAI. All the pass-through towns get $5,000, and then every county gets $6,000, and that's divided up 3 ways between the sheriff's department, the county engineer, and the emergency management team. You know, on top of that, we provide all the volunteer T-shirts. We provide a massive video screen so they can throw out their sponsors on next to the stage. We create all the town maps. So Corey and our team works directly with the town to produce a paper map. So when you roll into the town, you know where everything's at, you know where the campsites are at. Because we do have people that still love the feel of the paper in their hands when they're trying to find where they go next. We're covering the costs of all of that, so the towns don't have to worry about that this year. But you know, this team is constantly looking at ways to give back and do more. So By you registering, you help us give back more to the state of Iowa and to the towns that support us. And then they are able to, use that money, invest in their community, and at the end, give back to their community. And the next time we go through, you'll see some cool things in the community that has been paid for by the RAGBRAI riders.
Thank you for that excellent answer. And I also pasted a link to an article in the chat that bikeiowa.com just published about exactly where your registration dollar goes and how we support the different communities that we visit on RAGBRAI. It's a little bit lengthy, but it is certainly worth the read, at least in my opinion, because it really kind of lays it all out there as far as why you should register, even above and beyond the many points that Matt made. All right, so our next question is, I would love to hear all of you, those of you who are athletes or riders, I'd love to hear your input as well, but this one is specifically for Aaron. What is your best nutrition or training tip? I know it's a little early for training for RAGBRAI, but I feel like we should never stop training for RAGBRAI. But just in general, a good nutrition or training tip for the ride.
I mean, AP, I want to ride my bike year round, never stops.
That's right.
I think the biggest thing is kind of practice your nutrition and training. So the first time you're on the ride shouldn't be the first time you're worried about consuming fluids and carbs and all that good stuff. You want to have a plan ahead of time so your gut gets used to consuming all that while you're biking, and you kind of get a feel of what your electrolyte balance should be, how much carbs you need to feel good throughout the course of the ride. My favorite products, I love a good high carb mix. So like during my just like medium intensity rides, I try to get 60 grams of carbs per hour, and I mostly do that through carb mixes. But you can also try gels, chews, whole food if you want. I don't like chewing much when I ride. That's why I like my high carb mixes. If it's a super high intensity ride, like if I'm racing, I try and take 90 grams of carbs an hour in, try to chew about like 1200 sodium gram. I always get confused what things are measured in, but 1200 like grams of sodium, milligrams of sodium, something like that, with every like 20 to 26 ounces of fluid I'm drinking, and alternating that with a bottle of water. So just like practicing all that during your training and finding what products you like, what products you don't, what you can consume for extended periods of time without being sick of the taste of.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of that, I mean, it's basically exactly what she just said, but like personal experience from me is I mean, and I'm sure like a couple of you up here can contest to this, that I'll go out and I'll ride and I won't even touch my water bottles because I forget about them. It's just me. That's what I do. I forget about them and they're full. But on those longer rides, I try to get something in those water bottles that I know that's going to help me and that I enjoy. So then I actually think to go grab that bottle. So like Aaron was saying, if you go out and start trying some of these different electrolyte, mixes and things like that for your water bottles, it'll make you remember that you want to drink that. And that's a big thing, but definitely get out and try different ones. Don't go to the week of with just a handful of stuff that you've never tried and don't know if it works or if you're going to like it.
Yeah, and I think you said like how you forget your bottles. The more you practice doing it and training, the like more likely you're going to be remembering to do it over the course of the ride. And I think the importance, especially of doing it over the course of the ride, is yeah, for one day, if you forget to eat or hydrate, it's not that big of a deal. But RAGBRAI is 7 days of biking in a row, and you can't underfuel day one or underhydrate day one because it's going to impact your enjoyment of the ride the rest of the week. It's going to impact your energy levels. You might bonk, you might feel sick, you might be lightheaded. You're not going to be able to handle the heat as well. So it compounds on each other. So you want to make sure you're staying on top of it from the very beginning.
All those things have happened to me, and I'm an experienced rider. So it's what she's saying is super, super important. I hope you all take that seriously. I've had a conversation with Hayden multiple times recently about how I like to try to practice drinking water even when I'm not exercising, like when I'm at the office or working at my desk, just to get in the habit of drinking any amount of fluid on a regular basis, because I'm not naturally good at staying on top of my hydration.
I mean, this sounds ridiculous, but everybody should drink at least a gallon of water a day. So, I mean, It's kind of a ridiculous amount of water if you think about it, but it truly is what you're recommended to drink.
I should have some water right now, actually. All right, just a couple more questions. Gary in the chat wants to know who at RAGBRAI is in charge of headwinds this coming year. Sometimes Matt will assign it to a variety of different people. So Matt, who's it going to be this year?
I think I'll take it. It's my job to show off everything that happens in Iowa. And in Iowa, it's been really windy lately. So you might as well bring it to RAGBRAI.
All right. Well, we're recording this, so we'll bring
There
this
you
back
go.
later. All right. And then the last question that I have from the chat is what do I do if I have registration questions? Because people are going to start registering and it's going to be a Saturday. And I just want people to know what they can do if they run into a snag as they're going through the registration process.
One, we're not going to sell out in the first 2 days, so don't freak out. It will be okay. But just send an email to either info@ragbrai.com or Erin@ragbrai.com. I'd be happy to help you out with any questions you might have. You just might not hear back from me until Monday because I have all my family in town this weekend. So, but I will get back to you. I promise I will help you out and we'll get everything sorted. And registration will still be open at the exact same price.
I'll also be checking social media messages, probably also not from until Monday. So, but I will be there for you as well if you choose to use that channel. All right, Hayden, I think that wraps up all our questions for right now. If you have a question that you'd like to ask, like Erin said, you're welcome to email us info@ragbrai.com, Erin@ragbrai.com, or contact us on social media.
Perfect. Thank you, AP and team, for answering those questions. That was really insightful. And as always, we'll have more opportunities to continue asking questions. We'll have 6 or 7 more town halls leading up to the ride in July. So you'll have plenty of opportunities. Again, December will be off. The next one will be on January 8th at 6:30. So keep an eye out for that registration link. And we'll probably end this one a little bit early. If no one has any other questions, we wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and a happy holidays since we won't see you until after the new year. And hope everyone takes care. And we can't wait for 2026 because that means RAGBRAI 53 is just around the corner. All right, guys. Thank you and have a great night.
Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, guys.